All right, welcome to Talking Investing. I'm Tom, and as always, this is not financial advice. Today, I want to talk about Marathon Digital Holdings, stock ticker MARA. They are a Bitcoin mining company, as I'm sure most, if not all of you know. They put out their monthly operational report for the month of May, and I just want to go through this because they set record after record after record. So I'm hoping that you will watch this video, whether you like Marathon or you don't like Marathon. I'm going to go through and tell you what they're actually doing. Nobody has been more skeptical about Marathon than me, and you will see I've done a monthly update on them for about 2 years now, every single month. And if you go back and check my updates, I call it like I see it. There have been many months where I was very frustrated with Marathon. This is not one of those months. So, for all the times I called them out for not performing, I really want to go through in detail what they did this month because they set a series of records. We might look back on this month as the month that Marathon turned the corner and started to be who they said they were going to be for the last several years. So I don't want to be premature. As always, I like to say, I'd like to see a month or two more of confirmation of this, but wow, this is a home run. There's no other way to say it. So again, if you're a Marathon hater, I implore you to just watch this video and just see what they're doing, just so that at least you know and you can make an informed decision. And I'm not telling you to buy Marathon or sell Marathon, right? This is not financial advice. I just want to go through and let you know what's really going on here. Okay, so right now Marathon's down 2.7% on the day today. They're trading at $9.72. This is not because of the report that they just put out. All the Bitcoin miners this morning are down. That could change. They were up early. They're down now, so we'll see where the day ends. I'm not so much worried about today. This leaves them at a $1.65 billion market cap. This was a $7.54 billion market cap company in November of 2021. That's when Bitcoin hit its all-time high. So from then until now, they have lost very close to $6 billion of their market cap. And I like to stress that because a lot of times when we look at stock, people say, well, it's just due to dilution, but market cap has nothing to do with dilution. This market cap is down massively. Just bear that in mind later when we're taking a look at the stock price. If you enjoy this content, please consider subscribing to the channel, smashing the like button, and hitting the notification bell. Okay, let's get to the monthly operational update. Marathon Digital Holding announces Bitcoin production and mining operations updates for May of 2023. This is on June 2nd, early this morning. Okay. First line, produced a record 1,245 Bitcoin in May 2023. That puts them at 4,141 Bitcoin year to date. So I want to focus 1,245 Bitcoin mined in the month. Their previous all-time record, which was set 2 months ago in March, was 825. So they absolutely destroyed their previous all-time record. So this is measurably their best month. But this is not the only record they set. Okay, increased operational hash rate 9% up to 15.2 exahash. And installed hash rate 13% to 20.1 exahash in May of 2023. So those two numbers, 15.2 exahash, that's the amount of machines that are actually operating and mining Bitcoin. In addition to that, they have a total of 20.1 exahash that they own that are set up and that are ready to go. They just do not have power set up to those, so those are not mining Bitcoin yet. So the difference is almost 5 exahash. So those 5 exahash should be coming online in the coming months. They're looking towards, they've been talking about getting to 23 exahash. They've been talking about that for about a year and a half now, and it looks like they're getting very, very close to that. So they said mid-2023. So whether this turns out to be mid-2023 or late 2023, it does look like they're going to reach this goal that they have been talking about, and they are now well on their way. Okay, reported unrestricted cash and cash equivalents of $97 million, and increased unrestricted Bitcoin holdings to 12,259, which is about $333 million as well. So that's well over $400 million in liquidity. This is a very strong company from a balance sheet standpoint. The increased production was due to an increased hash rate and a significant increase in transaction fees, which accounted for approximately 11.8% of the total Bitcoin we earned in the last month. So you can see, again, this was exceptionally high due to those transaction fees, but this still would have been over 1,000 Bitcoin mined even without them, which would have been their all-time record by far. Okay, it goes on to say, we believe we are on track to reach our 23 exahash target near the middle of this year. So we're getting near the middle of this year. It is June right now. So that to me means in the next 60 to 90 days, they're expecting to be at 23 exahash. Okay, here's some operational highlights. Bitcoin produced 1,245. We talked about that. Average Bitcoin produced per day, they're now producing over 40 Bitcoin per day on the average. Operational energized hash rate was 15.2 exahash. Installed hash rate is 20.1 exahash. So again, that leaves about 4.9 exahash that's not yet actively mining Bitcoin. They had a huge jump in another area this month. If we look at their efficiency, they were running 15.2 exahash in the month of May, and they mined 1,245 Bitcoin. So if you just do the simple math, that's about 82 Bitcoin per exahash. Marathon went from 9th place. They were at 55 Bitcoin per exahash. They're now at 82 Bitcoin per exahash. So that is a monumental jump. And while it's not going to bring them all the way to first place, it's going to make them very competitive. All of their numbers seem to be getting better and better. So while we're talking about that, it's worth noting, you can see the first quarter of 2023, they mined 2,195 Bitcoin. That was their record by far. This second quarter, we are now 2 of the 3 months into this second quarter. They will once again set the record for the most Bitcoin mined in a quarter once we get their June results. And then lastly, it's worth noting, this is moving in the right direction. Marathon has always had one of the higher cost per coins, and they still do right now. But if you look at a quarter by quarter basis, and this is all derived from their financial statements, if you just take their direct costs, this has gone down every single quarter for the last 4 quarters. As their efficiency rises, do they continue to lower this cost? They are plugging in much more efficient machines. All the rest of the machines that they're plugging in are the XPs, which are much more energy efficient. So they may be able to bring this cost down despite the fact that the Bitcoin hash rate and difficulty level continues to increase. Okay, so they say right here, once all of Marathon's previously purchased miners are installed, approximately 66% of the company's hash rate is expected to be generated by the S19 XPs, which are the most efficient machine on the market. Now, that's not true anymore. The next generation is starting to come out, but of the S19 generation and its equivalents, the XPs are significantly more, I think 30% more energy efficient than most of the competition. So this is going to help them. Year over year comparison. Total cash is up from 60 million to 97 million. It's all unrestricted. Total Bitcoin holdings are up from 9,941 a year ago to 12,259 this year. But more importantly, they're up from last month. Last month they had 11,568 Bitcoin. This month they now have 12,259 Bitcoin on their balance sheet, which means they were able to hodl 691 Bitcoin in 1 month. If they do what they're supposed to do, they stand a chance at making a run at potentially having 20,000 Bitcoin on their balance sheet when the halving occurs. So, that could be lower. It could be as low as 18,000. Could be 20,000, and obviously anything could happen in the middle, but if they continue on this current trajectory, 691 Bitcoin added to their balance sheet, that's the most they've ever added in a single month, and they continue to increase the amount that they're mining and the amount of exahash that they have online, so there's every chance they may be able to add 400 or 500 or 600 Bitcoin on a monthly basis every month between now and the halving. Now again, this assumes they execute their plan as they've discussed, so in the past we have seen they have missed targets. So I don't want to say it's fair to assume that they're automatically going to reach every one of their targets for the rest of the year because they have been very hit or miss. In fact, in the year 2022, they were mostly a miss month after month after month. However, in the year 23, this trend has just been getting better and better and better. So I am optimistic, but obviously we need to see more data. We need to see more months in a row of them doing what they say they're going to do. But this month is very encouraging. Okay, so lastly, I'm just going to take a look at their stock chart. This is Marathon on the 1-day time frame. I just want to look at a few numbers, a few potential price targets. So in August of 2022, and I look at this on all the Bitcoin miners, so if you watch my videos, you're familiar with this. In August of 2022, Bitcoin rallied up to $25,000. So we were in the middle of a bear market, crypto winter, whatever you want to call it, but we had a nice rally. You'll see at that time, Marathon rallied up to $18.88. So I just want you guys to remember this chart. That was at this time. So they were just coming off of 140 Bitcoin mined in a month, 72 Bitcoin mined in a month. And then they had not yet reported this 184 Bitcoin mined. So the last report they had was 72 Bitcoin mined in a month. And that is when they hit this number. So they're now mining over 1,000 Bitcoin, 1,245 Bitcoin in May of 2022. So it's very, very difficult for me to understand how they could possibly be at a lower stock price. And we saw they're at a substantially lower market cap. In August of 2022, they were over a $2 billion market cap company. They're about $1.65 billion right now. So even their market cap is less, even though they are absolutely clearly a much, much bigger company. They're much healthier financially, and their operations are more than tenfold what they were at that time. So for all those reasons, I think getting back to that price point, somewhere around just under $19, is a very realistic price target if Marathon continues to do what they say they're doing and they continue on their current trajectory. And if Bitcoin can continue its rally, Bitcoin hit about $31,000 in the month of April 2023. So if it can get back and test that 31, or better yet, if it can break through that $31,000, so again, very modest price targets, I think Marathon can blow by this number. I think this is a pretty conservative price target for Marathon, and it's a 93% increase. So that's just my personal opinion, not financial advice. Please do your own due diligence. These are extremely volatile stocks. I always like to take a look. We just took a look at the potential reward. Let's take a look at some potential risk. If for some reason Bitcoin were to turn around and go back into a bear market, or if Marathon were to stop performing and fall short, it's 67% decrease down to their December lows from just 5 months ago. So as always, there's a big risk and a big reward to these stocks, so please invest carefully. So for those of you love them or hate them, this is what Marathon is doing. So if you made it this far, please remember to subscribe to the channel, smash the like button, and hit the notification bell. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.